Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA. Today, with another Blood Talk. Today's topic will be a rising star in the UFC, Terrance T-Rex McKinney. Terrance McKinney is a young fighter. He's 27 years old, has a record of 11-3, so 11 wins, 3 losses. He fights currently in the UFC lightweight division and fought 1 fight in the UFC. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He really has some momentum with him. I thought it was really impressive to watch his last win in the UFC. First round knockout, I think, was 15 seconds or something. And also, if you look at the record of Terrance McKinney, I mean, 11-3 is a good record for a young guy. He's 27 years old. His career's barely even started, and he's already going through the roof. He is a very entertaining fighter. You can't say, even if you dislike him, that he's not an amazing fighter. Because how can you not like to watch somebody that finishes every fight? Of course, he also got finished in the past, but he never saw the judges, neither in his amateur fights nor in his professional fights. He has 14 professional MMA fights and he never saw the judges. It always ended in one of the 3 rounds, and only one time, he only went one time to the 3rd round. So most of the finishes are in the 1st round and just a few in the 2nd. So he brings the heat. Just like you have with Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje normally doesn't go to the judges. He went to the judges before, but normally Gaethje is somebody that brings action, and so does Terrance. If you look at Terrance, you would usually not think that he's crazy powerful or whatever, but he only needs 1 shot to knock somebody out. It's crazy. Rewatch his fights, also in LFA, where I watched him. This is the previous fighting league he fought in. Man, this guy, I really see a bright future for him, because he normally just strikes, so he wins the fight with knockouts. So he has power. And he also can punch. It's not like he just swings with an overhand and eventually hits somebody and then he gets knocked out. No, he really strikes like accurate and technical and all that. So he's a force to be reckoned with in the stand-up and also on the ground. He's a Division II All-American, and that is an achievement. He can really wrestle. Also, he's not afraid of anything. I mean, like, he called out Khamzat Chimaev for a wrestling match. Who would call out Khamzat Chimaev for a wrestling match if he's also in a completely different weight class? I mean, Terrance McKinney is the same size as Conor McGregor, exactly the same size. He fights in the lightweight division. Khamzat Chimaev is like 2 times as big as Terrance McKinney, and he fights in the welterweight and middleweight division. So you really have to possess some balls, I would say, to call somebody out like Khamzat. Even if it's just for a wrestling match, but if you have done wrestling sparring or wrestling matches before, this isn't a joke. Like, it isn't like, yeah, okay, let's grapple a little bit. No, this is also some kind of war. You don't get punched in the face, but it's not like you're on a vacation or something. So that really speaks for him, because this guy, as he said, and I really believe him, he's not afraid of anything. He's not afraid to die. I mean, watch his documentary. It's not a real documentary, but watch the videos from his past. This guy was dead already, because in the past he had problems with drugs and this didn't end up well for him. He had an overdose. Yeah, you can watch the whole story on YouTube. I don't want to spoil it too much, but he then literally died on the way to the hospital and came back to life. Like, of course, he wasn't dead for 1 hour, but he was dead for a few moments and came back to life. They had to revive him on the way to the hospital in the ambulance. So he was there. He's seen that. You really see it if you watch him fight and all that, and if you watch him talk. He's not afraid, and I really do believe him. I don't think it's just an image, and he backs up what he says. I don't say he's invincible and he can't be beaten, but he's an amazing prospect who I am very sure will be champion one day, because his game is very complete. He has also finishes with submissions, he has finishes with punches, he has everything. I don't see any weaknesses with him. Maybe they haven't been exposed, who knows, but I don't see them. And I'm really watching all his fights. He will fight Farasiam in the end of February. I'm very curious about this fight because Farasiam is a very good striker. The striking of Terrance McKinney will definitely be tested there. It has been tested before, of course, but this will be a very serious test. And I'm very curious to see how it works out. Even if he loses, he can still come back, bounce back. Learn from your losses. We have seen so many guys losing before and learning from it and come back stronger. Just talk about Charles Oliveira. And Terrance McKinney is already so on a high level at the age of 27. I think it's only a matter of time until he's champ. And I really see and I hope that Terrance McKinney, after a fight with Siam, will fight ranked opponents and come into the rankings. And as soon as he's into the rankings, because he's also an active guy, he's not a guy that fights like one time a year and then relax a little bit, take some time out. No, he's an active guy. He wants to fight. He likes to fight. That's also something a champ is made of and something that I love as a fan and that I'm a fan of. So I see him beat Fares Siam. I see him fight ranked opponents after that and go through the rankings more or less quick. Then, of course, as soon as it comes to the top 7, something like that, then it gets very close, because then you fight guys that are really on the highest level you could be. I think the 2 hardest matchups for Terrance McKinney would be Islam Makhachev, because he's very complete. He has amazing striking, amazing wrestling, just like Terrance. But yeah, Islam Makhachev spent some more time in the octagon already. I fought some more battles. Maybe this could be an advantage for Makhachev. But I think it will be a really close fight, and I would love to see it. Even though, yeah, it's a scary matchup for Terrance McKinney, but also scary for Makhachev. That will be a close one, I think. And also, the other threat for McKinney would be, in my opinion, Charles Oliveira, because Terrance McKinney has been submitted before, and Charles Oliveira's submission game is just crazy. I think in the striking, he could knock Charles Oliveira out, but in the grappling exchanges, I don't know. But yeah, it's MMA. It's all mixed, so you can knock somebody out before he even tries to grapple with you. That's MMA. I'm very curious to find out what happens to Terrance McKinney in the future, how far he will come. I think he can be champ. I think he will be champ if he continues his journey, if he continues to be that hungry and that's filled with energy. We will see. We will see how it plays out. Write in the comments, what are your opinions? Do you think Terrance McKinney can beat all the top guys in the division? Do you see somebody that he can't go through? Do you think he's just hype trained somehow and won one fight now, is on a 4-5 win streak, but you don't see a bright future for him? Write it in the comments, no matter what it is. I'd like to talk to you about that. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to eat your vegetables. See you next time. Bye-bye. Bloodsport out.
Eat your vegetables.